Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 20th to the 28th, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. So take in a nice deep breath, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Taurus, February 20th to the 28th, 2022, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. All right. So at the bottom here is our rooted self. Oh, goodness. There we go. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top is our emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Gemini, that's going to come through very powerfully at our root, or if we have Gemini within our natal chart. And then our next card is the High Priestess. The High Priestess in early tarot decks was also known as the female Pope, which is important to us when the High Priestess comes up because we're the Hierophant. We're the Pope, the male Pope, or just the Pope as it is known right now. So here, excuse me, there is this connection with the kind of like deeper mystical feminine aspect of it. It's not necessarily regulated to femininity, but there's a deeper mystical aspect coming forward that is calling us towards our traditions, towards ourselves, towards a quintessential power that is us. So that's going to be very interesting to watch evolve during this time. Then we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card that I see in it holds two very powerful meanings. One is that we need to look at what we're holding on to, the people who were supposed to stand with us, who were supposed to be a part of our lives, and yet just weren't, just couldn't have that connection with us. It could be a hard thing to kind of, like a hard pill to swallow. It could be a parent. It could be a lover. It could be, a sibling. But it's just like we don't have that closeness that we always thought we should have with them, or we felt that we should just have because of, the way the relationship was set up. But this is also telling us in the same breath to remember the people who do stand by us, even if it's, simply, and it's not a simple thing, but even if it's our angels and our spirit guides. So be very aware of that. Then we have the Moon, which is Pisces energy. So if we have Pisces within our natal chart, it's coming through very powerfully within our inner self. And here we can look at this picture and think, oh my gosh, the monster has the child. But what if the monster is guarding the child? What if our fears? What if, as we conquer our fears and look at the world in a different way, what if our fears become our greatest, allies and power? What if kind of walking through those hurdles, walking over those hurdles, because it changes us neurologically, right? Whenever we're facing something that is hard and challenging and we get through it or we survive it, we might not say, okay, I got through it, but, and think of it in any way that is positive, but I've survived that. It changes us. And then that becomes a positive resilience that moves us forward. It leads us to the Ace of Wands at our heart. This is passion and creativity and, the reason we get out of the bed in the morning coming at us. And this is through God's Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. It brings us to the Six of Wands, a celebration for ourselves. It brings us then to the public arena, the Eight of Wands. Things are going to start to move quite quickly for us. We're also starting to take aim on what we want and what we desire. It's actually through the gifts that are coming in at our heart that we're taking aim at what we truly want and where we truly need to be and what's right for us and what isn't. And then leads us to the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to feel things changing very much, and we're going to feel ourselves stepping into a new season, stepping into a new reason, stepping into a new power for ourselves, which is just going to be very powerful for us. It's also going to be very affirming. Now let's look at the message we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So the energy we need to be mindful of is the King of Cups. This is really focusing around the manipulation of emotions. This could be somebody that, kind of has an emotional tie to us, or this is somebody who's just very adept at reading people and can kind of set the blocks up and the dominoes up and knock them down in a way that you sit there and think, wow, I didn't think that person knew me well enough to really come at me that way. So just being very aware of this energy is going to be very important. We're also being told that emotionally we could kind of I'm just being told to kind of put yourself in a timeout at times when you feel yourself getting really frustrated, really angry, really upset. And even if that just means you step into the bathroom for a moment and you just breathe or splash water on your face or, just are able to calm down a little bit, that's going to be really important during this time. It leads us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And this is the inner child. This is the heart chakra. We need to connect with who we once were. So the inner child is connecting with ourselves when we were a child and holding our arms open to the child that we once were and saying, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm showing up for you. I will always believe you and care for you and walk by your side. And that's a very, very powerful thing because it's an affirmation that we are worth it. And we're telling our younger self that we are absolutely and positively worth it. So that really is quite beautiful. So let's look at things astrologically during this time. There's not a lot going on. It's actually very, very calm for, the last bit of February. What we have is on the 23rd of February, we have Mars sextile Neptune. Now, this is a day when we find that there's a certain something in the air. There's a certain charm to us, and there's a certain charm to everybody. And we're going to be very drawn to the positive side of things. We're also going to find that we are more idealistic and spiritually minded. And this makes it very important to search for the meanings in things, to search for what we desire. But we're also going to see is that we have a little bit of argument with our dreams, with the way that we want to move forward, with what it is that we're seeking out for ourselves. It's almost like the Mars energy, the combative energy is coming forward, and the energy of Neptune, the dreamer, the unseen world is coming forward. And it's like, how do I put these two together? Now there's a spark to us, a way that we put our waking world and our dream world together in a very positive way, but we can find it to be a bit frustrating during this time. So do be mindful about that. On the 24th of February, we just have everything happening. We have Venus sextile Neptune. Now this is another day when passion and sensuality are going to be a guiding force for us. There's a charm to us, and it makes it more likely that things will go our way, and it makes us more kind of confident. Yeah, it's confident. It's self-assured. Just remember, this charm is written into the planetary alignment, and therefore it's for everybody. So everybody has things kind of falling into place during this time. Also, there's this energy of needing to feel loved, of needing to feel connected, of caring for our dreams and what we're becoming and what we're discovering about ourselves. So that's going to be really quite beautiful. On the 24th of February, we have Mars squared Uranus. This alignment, and also because on the 24th of February with Venus sextile Neptune, we're ruled by Venus. Whenever Venus shows up, Taurus, in our alignment, it's like, okay, bam, I'm there. And we really do rule from the heart. Even though so many people think that we don't, they just don't know us well enough, because we do have walls. Taurians have walls, and Taurians can be bulls in the china shop when they need to get things done, but they are also loyal and steadfast. A positive Taurian, of course. So this is really honing that energy and knowing also the sensitivity of a Taurian and respecting that within us. Now, also on the 24th of February, Mercury is squared Uranus. This alignment can absolutely contradict the charm and contrast the charm of Venus sextile Neptune, because what we have here is this bluntness to our speech, to what we desire. Remember, Uranus is all about getting things done. Mercury is all about words and communication, and so we're going to just be a bit sharp. Everybody's going to be a little bit sharp in what needs to be done, how we need to move things forward. This isn't a hand-holding sort of time. This is the task, this is what needs to happen, and this is how we need to move forward. So just remember that it's going to be really important. The 24th of February also has Mercury sextile Chiron. This is a harmonious, aspect that has us able to heal wounds and pains for ourselves and for others. But just remember, we're not here to heal everybody's problems. We're here also to show up for ourselves and live our best life. So do be mindful of that. At our root, we have the Lovers. The Lovers is healing. It is beautiful. It is that connection of sacred masculine, sacred feminine energy coming forward for us. It is our angels stepping forward with us and saying, I'm showing up with you. I'm here for you. I'm guiding you. I'm loving you. And this is a time when healing is so important, where love is so important. And Taurians, again, we have a tendency to think, okay, I'll get to that later. I need to focus on the task at hand. And yes, that's very true. But we need to come to things with a sense of love, with a sense of commitment, with a sense of honor and beauty for ourselves and for what we desire within our lives. There's a union going on here. There's a sense of falling in love with our world, falling in love with ourselves. The door is being opened in a very real way. And it's also showing us as we let this love come forward, it is showing us the High Priestess. It is showing us the veil being lifted from our eyes. It is showing us what we deeply desire and want and need. But it's also revealing the negativities that we've been defining ourselves by. So remember the Oracle of Delphi. The Oracle of Delphi, people from all over the ancient world went to hear her words, went to hear what she had to say about their fate. And she spoke in riddles and rhymes, so people can absolutely, discredit her if they want to. But those who heard her took her words as truth and carried them with them and saw how they unfolded within their lives. And that is very much like the guiding star that guides us. The moon that guides us, that changes its faces, just as we change our faces as we grow and as we learn. And also, in what situation that we are in, we change what we're showing people and what we show ourselves. This is going to be a time where we look at the riddles that we're hearing. We look at the rhymes that we're trying to understand about ourselves, about our existence, about the way that we need to move forward. And we're starting to fall in love with who we are, with what we desire, not what people want us to desire, but what we desire, how we're moving forward, what is important to us, what isn't important to us. And that moves us to the Three of Cups, where it's like, what? I can carry around the fact that the person who was supposed to love me didn't. The person who was supposed to have my back couldn't. And that can be my mantra for the rest of my life. Or I can look at it and say, that wasn't their role in my existence. Their role was harder, it was sharper. And it moved me in a direction that maybe if it was up to us, we wouldn't have moved in. And I'm not necessarily talking about the horrific, though this could be applied. What this is saying is that some people don't have anything to give. It's hard enough for them to give anything to themselves. And they come from such a place of lack that they need to hoard it all for them. And so letting those people go is a blessing to us to say, listen, you just couldn't do it. I see it. I understand it. I didn't get it when I was little, or I didn't get it when, we were in that situation, but I see it now. And now I get to move forward for me because I deserve better. And it moves us then to seeing the people who have stood by our side Maybe they gotten mad at us because, we're all human and that's just, normal. But they've stood there and they've been a part of us and they've been with us. And that's important. Even if it is simply our angels and our spirit guides, because it is important to understand that we are not alone. We cannot be alone. Us as human beings, as much as we like to think that the virtual world might be enough for everybody, but it's not. It's not enough for anybody. We need to have that connection. We need to have that interaction. We need to have that sense of community. And that is astoundingly important to the way that we as human beings have evolved. And it brings us to the moon. It brings us to our fears, our subconscious fears. This is also, Neptune energy. So when we have Venus sextile Neptune and Mars sextile Neptune, this is the energy of Pluto also coming forward. It is the energy of the unseen world. It is the energy of our dreams and what we want, but also how we fear bringing those dreams into the waking world. What we fear about this world, how we're moving ourselves forward, how we're seeing ourselves, how we're also seeing the shadows, which morph us. And we might think, oh, that becomes grotesque. It doesn't. It just becomes part of the consciousness that needs to be reorganized, re-understood. And as we move forward in this knowledge and in this understanding, we start to see ourselves better. We start to look at the healing that comes as we acknowledge who we are, what we need, and what we desire within our lives. So the moon opens to us. The moon shows us the shadows of ourselves, what we have hidden away, shows us the shadows of others, and how, if we look at them in a more whimsical way, we can see them as the satyrs, the nymphs that dance in the forest. We can see it as beautiful things that we have to understand, that we have to, not have to understand, that's a bit extreme, but that can bring some joy, that can bring some deeper knowledge, whimsy, laughter, smiles into our lives. And that's needed. It brings us to the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is God's Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us this gift of passion, of creativity, of instinct, of ideas. We start to let this light lead us forward. And it's like, oh, this is why I'm here. We want to live grand lives. We have, since human beings started, walking up on two legs and living. We want to be better than the person standing next to us. We want to have more, right? Hierarchy. In the social hierarchy, we want to be on top. And that's fine. Some people will be and some people will not be. But what is wrong with a simple, quiet life? What is wrong with the connection of love and healing and beauty that is a part of us? What is wrong with that? Why does it always have to be everybody knows your name? What does it always have to be red carpets and flashing lights and, rock star and movie star fame or CEO, power that people go after? Why can't it be the beautiful quiet? Why can't it be laughter and tears and life that is real, but is beautiful and well made and well crafted by our existence? And that's where the Ace of Wands comes in. It's like, this is passion and this is beauty. It might be passion for baking cookies, and it might be passion for gardening, and it might be passion for, fixing the cars, and it might be passion for a myriad of things, but this is passion. Let that passion shine. Don't say, oh, the light isn't, exactly what I wanted it to be, so I'm extinguishing it. No, let it shine, because that's where we start to walk forward in victory. That's where you start to see the people who might not live in the fanciest of house or drive the fanciest of cars, but have contentment in their lives, have power, have grounding, have beauty. And it brings us to this place where we start, again, to celebrate ourselves within our heart. And then we start to see things moving quickly. Here it says good news in travel around us. But we start to find that we move forward, not necessarily always in the good news, but also in what we need to face at this time. We travel forward in ourselves. We might not leave our house during this time. We might leave our house a lot during this time. It doesn't matter where we are in our world and in ourselves. What matters is that we're showing up. And as we show up, things start to change. We start to change. And everything starts to move. It's like, ready or not, here it comes. And it brings us to the Wheel of Fortune. Here it is karma and destiny. And what we look at is what comes back to us, what we give out into the world and what comes back to us. And yes, that is our karma. But we are also looking at the destiny of who we are, how we are becoming, how we are understanding ourselves, what we are seeing, what we are looking for, how we are manifesting our way forward. The Wheel of Fortune is a new season, is us stepping into a new season of our lives. It's kind of like the shedding of an old skin. It's just falling away. And as we start to step into who we are and what we want to be, we start to see ourselves with more honesty. Now, this might not be a season that we want to walk through. This might be a really hard, challenging season for us. And as we acknowledge that, we acknowledge the fact that the wheel will change again. The season will change. And we will be stronger. We will be different. We will be more than what we were when we stepped in, even if we feel like as we enter into this season, we're becoming less. And what I mean by that is I know there have been seasons in my life where it's like, I never expected this. I never wanted this. It was hard. It was painful. It was tears every night. And then stepping out of it, it's like, wow, that forged me. That forged me in a way that I never wanted to be forged. And I never thought I would be. But I couldn't be here now if I hadn't walked through those fires. So just be mindful of this. Be very mindful of the change that is coming in, at the destiny that is leading us, at the opening up of the doors and what we desire. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it is the King of Pentacles. It's ourselves. Be mindful of getting in our own way. Be mindful of looking at only the facts of things, or the prosperity of things, or the way things can grow and become, and not in the moments. Because we can't always be looking towards the future or judging things off of the past. Sometimes we just have to be in the here and in the now. And as we embrace this, we look at our chakra energy, which is the root chakra. It's family. It's at our root, what has shaped us, formed us, guided us, and moved us. So family comes in, and that's going to be very powerful for us. It's the family we were born into. It's the family that we've created. It moves us to our rooted energy, our subconscious rooted energy. There we go. And it is the Fool. The Fool is new beginnings. The Fool is daring to dream, knowing that we will fall and fail. Those are inevitable. But knowing also that we are moving towards something more, something greater than what we had thought. That we are seeing ourselves and taking that leap of faith, and not saying I can't anymore. Saying, no, this is me. This is what I desire. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is the sun. This is the beauty that gets to shine on me. And as we embrace the Fool, we know, as it is so important to know, that every single hero's journey began with them being seen as a fool, with people being doubted and laughed at. Until they made it, until they did their great deed, they were never supposed to be anything. And we can see this in mythologies. We can see this in histories. We can see this in even people's stories. And so here we look at the Fool. We look at the ways that we dare to be different, the ways that we dare to not be part of the herd, one of the sheep, that we step out on our own, and we let ourselves shine, no matter how terrifying it might be. It brings us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. But it's also honoring what we love. You know, the cups in the tarot represent the Holy Grail. Now, whether you believe in the myth of the Grail or you believe in the Grail is irrelevant. What it shows us, because the Grail is supposed to be the cup of Jesus' Last Supper, the cup that caught his blood when he was on the cross and pierced in the side. So it holds so much power. It holds so much intense understanding in it. And when we hold it, when we take the cup that shows us our destiny, that shows us, it's overwhelming. The Queen of Cups holds that cup up and sees it fully, openly, and honestly. Embraces the love, embraces the nurturing, embraces the understanding of wisdom. It comes from the heart. Our Holy Grail we can look for externally forever, and people have and still do. But what if it is the realization of us and our love and our passion and our calm and our beauty and what is truly desired within us? It brings us to our subconscious emotional self, and that is the Two of Swords. There's a road opening up that we never thought of. We always thought road A or road B. And now this new road is opening. Now we're starting to see things because we're not attempting to be in control of everything. We're saying things may come. And as they come, I will embrace it. I will look at it. I will understand it, or I will see it as it comes forward. And we start to see ourselves as we step forward. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And that again is the Ace of Wands. It is career, it is beginnings, it is travel. It is a sense that I am taking this gift. And as I take this gift, I am taking aim at what I want and what I desire within my life. It is a torch, it is a spotlight that leads me forward, that guides me in a way that I hadn't anticipated. And it brings back the fire. It brings back the passion. Sometimes life becomes a bit dull, a bit gray, a bit humdrum, And now here, the passion, the fire, it is coming back because we are claiming it, because we are claiming ourselves. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and the intensity of not only this time, but of ourselves. And as we embrace our hearts like never before. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.